Welcome to Tech Skills Academy, and today we're going to be talking about HTML elements. Okay, HTML elements. So let's dive straight in. So in our last class, we spoke about HTML basics. Okay, then we spoke about the basic syntax of HTML, such as the doc type HTML, which is document type. We spoke about HTML, marking our territory. We spoke about the header. We spoke about the paragraph. So we spoke about those tags in our last class. Okay, if you haven't watched that, you can find the link to that on our page, and you would watch that. So, but today we are moving to HTML elements. Okay, so now we want to see first off, what is HTML elements? Okay, an HTML element is defined by start tag, some content, and an end tag. Okay, now what this is saying is that we have a tag called H1. Inside our H1, we want to put this is my first heading. Okay, then we close the tag, and the combination of that together makes an element. Okay, let's take for example here. Okay, this is a what? Is a tag. Then the combination of all these together makes an element. Good. All of this makes an element, while this alone is a what? Is a tag. This P alone is a tag, but in combination with the content in between and also the closing tag makes it an element. I hope you get that. So let's go back to our manual for today. So we said HTML elements is everything from start tag to the end tag. Okay, from the start tag, the words in between, and the end tag. That's HTML elements. Okay, now we can see that what we have here, we said tag name. Okay, the tag name, then the content goes here. Okay, and then the closing tag. Remember I mentioned in the last class that when you open a tag, it is imperative, or it is important that you close that tag. Okay, you don't just open a tag and you don't close it. It's like you piling up issues for your code, or trying to create a deliberate bug for your code. Okay, good. So example of HTML elements, or some HTML elements, are these examples that we have here. Okay, we have H1, then my first heading, then we have P, which is what? Paragraph. Okay, my first paragraph. Okay, good. So we're going to practicalize this now. So we're going to have the H. So let's just clear off this first, this one. Let's clear off this. Okay, so we have H1, which is welcome to Tech Skills Academy, and we have our P, which is a paragraph which says what? The best tech school in Ibadan. So let's Control S, let's Control C. We're using our VS Code. In case you don't know, you can practice this using your VS Code also, or by using your CodePen.io. You can do that. So let's go to our live server. Okay, and let's see what we have. We have it on our screen here. Welcome to Tech Skills Academy, and the paragraph here says what? The best tech school in what? In Ibadan. So good. So what we're trying to say here simply is that this one, the tag name, okay, while what we're writing in between and then the closure of our tag name makes it an element. Okay, good. So let's go back to our, so we said we have the start tag. Okay, then we have the element content, and we have the closing tag. Okay, good. So take note of that. So we have our H1, we have our P tag, and we have the BR. Okay, good. So that's what basically HTML element is about. Okay, we have spoken about what the tag is. The tag is just the tag name, either H, either P, either span, either IMG, either A. Okay, so remember yesterday we the last class we used the anchor link. Okay, we used the anchor tag, we use the image tag, the IMG tag. Okay, good. So those are tags. Okay, when you begin to put things in between them, okay, you begin to use them properly, they become an element. Is that clear now? So yeah, so that's what we are talking about. So let's proceed and let's look at another type of element, which is nested HTML elements. Okay, nested. So what are nested HTML elements? HTML elements can be nested. This means the elements can contain other elements. Okay, the elements can contain what? Other elements. Do I make an example with you putting a bucket inside a bucket? Okay, you put in a bucket inside a bucket and another bucket inside that bucket. So that's just what nested HTML element means. Okay, it's just you putting an element inside an element. Now all HTML documents consist of nested HTML elements, okay, because definitely inside your HTML you have your head, you have your body, you have your H, you have your P, and a lot of things. So inside elements there are elements, inside element there are elements. Okay, good. So that's what we call nested elements. Okay, just a single one is an element, while one inside another is called what? The nested element. So let's look at the sample we have here, example we have here. Okay, so let me highlight that so that you can see that. Okay, can you see here the highlighted part here says we have the doc type HTML. Doc type means document type is what? Is HTML, as we spoke about in our last class. So then we are declaring our HTML. Okay, good. Now you can see that we are opening our HTML here, okay, and we are closing our HTML here. Okay, now in between that we are having what? The body, which also carries what? The H1 and the what? And the P. Okay, so you can see what we are talking about here, that inside an element there is an element. So that is what nested element means in simple terms. Okay, good. So let's look at an example here. Okay, so we have our HTML here. Okay, we have it here. We have marked our territory here. Remember what I told you in last class, that we are marking our territory because we want all our codes to go in between this HTML. Okay, good. So we are putting elements inside the HTML elements. Okay, we have put the body inside the HTML element. Okay, now inside the body we have also put the H1 and also the what? And also the P tag. Okay, good. And inside the H1 we have also put what? We also have our welcome to Tekisbrain Academy. Okay, so this on its own, this H1 here is what? Is an element. This here is an element. Okay, having a combination of these two inside the body is now what? Nested HTML element. Having all the body inside the HTML, inside this HTML is also a what? A nested HTML element. I hope we are good now. Very cool. So please take note of that. So it's very important that you understand that. So we want to move to the next thing for today, which is going to be, so this is a demonstration I prepared for you. You can see that we have HTML here and we have HTML down here. Okay, inside the HTML we have the body opened here and we have the body closed here. Okay, inside the body we also have the H1 and the P tag open. Can you see? So that's nested HTML element. Elements inside another element. Very good. So now, very important, okay, you must put this at the back of your mind, that never skip the end tag. Okay, when you are writing a code, no matter how small, how many lines you are writing, make sure that all your tags are properly closed. Okay, let's make an example. Let's make an example from here. Okay, now let's look at our code. This is what we have here. The H1 well declared, well closed, opened and closed. The P tag well declared, well opened and closed. Let's save that and let's come back to our live server. Okay, now we can see how well arranged it is, even we are not using CSS yet, but it's still cool because we know which one is the header and we know which one is the what? Is the paragraph. Good. So now let's come here and let's say we want to, let's remove this H1. Okay, let's just take it out. Let's just highlight it and take it out. Let's highlight it and take it out. Good. So let's Ctrl S. Okay, we have removed the closing tag for the H1. Okay, and we have saved it. So let's come back to our page here and see what it looks like. Okay, you can see that there is no sharp difference anymore between the Welcome to Tekisbrain Academy and the best tech school in Ibadan. Why? Because we have not properly declared our H1. Okay, we only opened our H1, we didn't close it. So your machine will assume that okay, you are still making the text big. Okay, you are still talking about H1 even when you go to the tech school in Ibadan. You get the point. Now let's use our Tekisbrain website for example. Okay, so now if you come to Tekisbrain website here and you look at this section, this about section here, you will see we see this place. It says we are here to help. Okay, you can see that this is bigger in size compared to the description we have here. Okay, good. So it's defining, it's making your page look defining Okay, it's making you know that okay, this is the head of this section. Okay, this is the topic of this section. Okay, is differentiating it from the description that we are having here. Okay, but if everything is all bold together like this, all bold together, you know, you won't know which one to focus on. You won't know. When you see we are here to help, it gives you an idea of okay, they are here to help. Let's see what they want to help us with. Okay, so that is what this is talking about here. You get the whole idea about that now. So let's go back to our code here. So as you can see here, welcome to Techisrain Skills Academy, then the best tech school in Ibadan. Okay, now good. So the best way to make this right is to go back to your code and correct it. Put a closing tag. Very simple. Close your H1 and Control S it. Okay, so when you Control S it, you see that you have your code, your interface or your body back to normal. So anybody who sees this page can tell that welcome to Techisrain Skills Academy is the header here, or the main title. Okay, why the best tech school in Ibadan is just a paragraph or a descriptive content of what was made big above. Okay, good. So that is what we are talking about when we mention that you should ensure that your tags are closed. Okay, always include your end tag so that it doesn't merge the coming tags or the coming elements with the above element. Okay, good. So when you open H1 and you don't close H1 and then you start writing P, it becomes confusing because you have not told your machine that I'm done with the H1. I'm now moving to the paragraph. Okay, so always ensure that you close your tags. Very, very important. Now, empty HTML elements. Okay, now what do we mean by empty HTML elements? Now, if you can see from here that this H1 is not empty. Okay, there is something in between, which is welcome to Techisrain Academy. If we decide to remove this Techisrain Academy, it will remove this. It won't show anything again on our page. Okay, so it will make this H1 valueless. Okay, it has no meaning because there is nothing inside, but there should be something inside. Okay, there should be something inside, but there are some tags that does not require you to have something inside, and that tag, for example, here in this case, I'm using as a case study, is the BR. Okay, the BR represents break. Okay, it represents break. We used it in our last class. You can find that video on our page here, and you relate better with that. So let's try it again. Welcome to Techisrain Academy. So let's put that tag here. Let's put that BR here, BR, and let's close it. Okay, good. And let's Control S. Now, note where we are putting that BR. We are putting it after welcome to. Okay, good. So let's come back to our page and let's see what we have. Welcome to Techisrain Skills Academy. So can you see here now that it has broken the line for us? Okay, it broke the line for us and it brought Techisrain Skills Academy to the next line. Okay, so BR is an element that does not take content. It operates by itself. Okay, it does not need any. Let me highlight that so I can know what we're talking about. Does not need any content to go in between. Okay, it just operates by itself. It puts a break in between the elements, in between the contents. Okay, so anywhere you put BR, be sure that you are trying to break that line. Okay, so if you are not trying to break that line, don't put BR. Okay, because if you put BR, you'll break the line. So take note of that. So the next thing we want to talk about is HTML has not been case sensitive. Okay, HTML has not been case sensitive, and what that means is that let's come here and say we want to change this H to capital letter H. Okay, I want to make it work for just one. Okay, because I'm using an extension that is not allowing me to do that on my machine, so I think I would want to use CodePen for that. So let's use CodePen for this. So now we are here at CodePen. So if you want to practice also, please do well to use CodePen if you don't have VSCode on your machine. Now I want to quickly run. Let me quickly run our codes. Okay, let me quickly declare our codes so that we can doc type HTML. Doc type means what? The The language, the document type we're writing is what? Is HTML. Good. So I'm closing it. Okay, I'm moving to the next line. I'm going to open our HTML. Okay, then I want to close it. Okay, I want to open it and close it. Okay, let me close it. Remember, we said we close with our slash. Okay, good. So I've closed that. So in between, I want to have my let's have my head. Okay, H1. So I want to write H in capital letter. Okay, so I want to close. I want to write. Let's just write. This is my first heading. First heading. Okay, so I want to close my tag now. Okay, so I'm going to close it with a small letter H. Okay, good. So can you see now? We still have our heading. Okay, so HTML is not case sensitive. Okay, unlike JavaScript where you can't use home H capital letter H and then you want to call small letter H. You know, it won't work. Okay, it's what you declare that you have to call. Okay, good. So here HTML is not what? It's not case sensitive. You can use H capital letter H here and use small letter H here. Okay, let's just change it to capital letter P here, which means paragraph, right? Good. So we want to capital letter P here and want to use small letter P here. Good, small letter P here. So it's still the same. You can see what we have it here. That's what we have here. This is my what? My first heading. So let's just change it to paragraph for context sake. This is my first paragraph. Good. So if you have been confused about whether HTML is case sensitive, this gives you clarity. HTML is not case sensitive, so you can use the small letter and also the capital letter. But it's always good that you keep your codes clean, okay? So you can just keep it as small letter, okay? Keep it as small letter. If you want to use capital letter, keep it as capital letter, okay? Don't be here and there, okay? Good. So that's the best way to operate as a web developer, okay? You keep everything clean and good, okay? So I feel for today we have been able to touch the major and the most important aspects of HTML elements, okay? So in our next class, we're going to be talking about HTML attributes, okay? Talking about HTML attributes. So for today, we have known and understood what HTML elements are, okay? We have known that HTML elements are tags and the content in between our tags, okay? And we also understood that we have elements that don't carry content, okay? Empty elements, okay? And we use an example of what? Of BR. It's self-functioning, okay? It does not require any element to any content to come for it to operate, okay? But if you are using your H1 or using your P, if you don't put a content in between, nothing will show. Your page will be empty, okay? Your page will not fill it, okay? Good. But your BR, mainly you include it on your page, it breaks the line, okay? Good. So I feel I will talk about nested elements, nested HTML elements, and that is talking about your elements inside another element, okay? So remember, as we did here, let's go back to CodePen, okay? You notice that we have HTML and HTML closed here. And inside of HTML, we have what? We have our P, okay? So that's element inside of what? Of element. You get that? Yeah. So you can go ahead to practice on CodePen if you don't have VSCode on your machine. And if you have VSCode, practice. Write different kind of tags. In fact, that should be a work to do, okay? In the comment section, just give me as many tags that you know, okay? From H1 to H6 to P to span to IMG to anchor link or anchor tag. Give me as many tags that you know. Let me see in the comment section. And also you can write me an element, okay? Write me an element. Might be an H1 element, might be a P element. Just write me an element and let me see how well you are getting along, okay? So in our next class, we'll meet and we'll discuss about HTML attributes. So don't forget to like, share, and follow. It is Tech's Rain Skills Academy. Ciao.